Have you ever hesitated, just for a split second, before getting up from a low chair or the living room floor? It's not a conscious thought, but a flicker of physical doubt. A quiet question from your own body. Do we have the power for this? Or perhaps you feel it in your balance, a subtle instability that wasn't there a few years ago. A fading signal. The information presented in this video is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional medical advice or diagnosis. If this feeling is familiar, please know that it is real, it is valid, and you are not imagining it. This experience isn't just the vague notion of getting older. It is a specific biological process, a silent sabotage happening deep within your body. For decades, the story of age-related muscle loss was simple. Use your muscles or lose them. But that's only a fraction of the truth. The real story is far more fascinating, and it takes place on a microscopic stage inside every single one of your muscle cells. It's called sarcopenia. But simply naming the ghost doesn't stop it from haunting you. To fight it, we must truly understand it. What if you could journey past the skin, past the tissue, and see the cellular battlefield for yourself, inside a single muscle fiber? What if we told you that this loss of strength isn't caused by one single thing, but by three distinct saboteurs working in the shadows? Each one has a different method of attack. Each one weakens the entire system in its own unique way, and each one can be fought. The common advice to just eat more protein often fails because it only addresses one part of this complex internal battle. In this video, we are not just going to talk about muscle. We are going on a visual journey deep inside. We will pull back the curtain on these three cellular breakdowns, revealing exactly how they conspire to steal your power year after year. We will visualize the deaf foreman who ignores growth commands, the failing power plants causing an energy crisis, and the slow, simmering fire of inflammation that constantly wears down your body's natural defenses. This is not your fault, but understanding it is your greatest power. This knowledge is the first, most crucial step to reclaiming the strength that is rightfully yours. So prepare to go microscopic. The battle for your strength begins now. At the cellular level, our journey begins. We are now shrinking down, moving past the skin, into the dense, intricate landscape of your muscle tissue. Imagine this as a vast, interconnected city of fibers. Each one is a powerhouse, responsible for every single move you make. But a saboteur is at work. We call this first problem the deaf foreman. In scientific terms, it's a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. To understand it, let's visualize a single muscle cell. Think of it as a busy construction site, constantly managed by a foreman. The foreman's one critical job is to listen for the sound of delivery trucks, which represent the protein you eat, and then give the order to build. In our youth, this foreman has perfect hearing. A protein-rich meal arrives, and he immediately gets on the loudspeaker. Start building. The supplies are here. This is muscle protein synthesis. But as we age, a strange and frustrating thing happens. The foreman, through a complex biological process, becomes hard of hearing. Now, when that same delivery truck full of protein arrives, its signal is just a faint whisper to the desensitized foreman. He doesn't hear the signal clearly, so the powerful, authoritative order to build is never given. The construction crew sits idle. This is the core reason why simply eating more protein often doesn't work. You're sending more trucks, but the foreman is still deaf. The building blocks are piled up at the gate, but the crucial command to actually use them is lost. This is the essence of anabolic resistance. So how do you get his attention? You don't just send more quiet trucks. You send one special truck equipped with a powerful, blaring horn he cannot possibly ignore. In the world of nutrition, that special horn is a specific, powerful amino acid. Its name is leucine. Leucine is the master key of muscle growth. It's the one signal that can bypass the foreman's poor hearing and directly trigger the start building command. The strategy is to get enough leucine in a single meal to cross a certain point, to make the horn loud enough to be heard. For older adults, a growing body of research suggests this leucine threshold is approximately 2.5 to 3 grams in one sitting. So, where do we find this potent master key? Let's look at the foods that are the richest sources. Dairy is a true champion. A single large bowl of Greek yogurt, 1 cup of cottage cheese, or a scoop of whey protein powder can easily hit this target. Animal sources are also powerhouses. A 4-ounce chicken breast, a fillet of salmon, or just 2 whole eggs are packed with leucine. For those on plant-based diets, the strategy is combination. Think a block of firm tofu, a cup of lentils, or a smoothie with soy protein. So what happens when you succeed? The moment your body crosses that leucine threshold, the blaring horn sounds. The deaf foreman jolts to attention. The order is finally given. Suddenly, the entire construction site roars to life. The process of muscle protein synthesis begins with vigor. This is not just about slowing down muscle loss. This is an active, powerful signal to build new, quality muscle tissue. You are directly counteracting the first saboteur, turning a quiet, unresponsive cell back into an active, growing one. The core benefit is a restoration of the signal. Your body relearns how to efficiently turn the food you eat into your functional strength. Now, a critical note on safety. This strategy focuses on the quality and timing of protein, not necessarily a massive, uncontrolled increase in the total daily amount. However, who should be particularly cautious? This is primarily for individuals with pre-existing diagnosed kidney conditions or chronic kidney disease. For these individuals, processing higher loads of protein can put extra strain on the kidneys. It is absolutely essential to speak with your doctor. Work with your healthcare provider to understand your personal health needs before making any significant changes to your protein intake. For most healthy older adults, focusing on creating leucine-rich meals is a safe and incredibly effective strategy to maintain strength. We've restored the signal, but for the construction site to run, it also needs a powerful and reliable source of energy. The order to build has been given. The foreman is now listening. But the construction crew on site is exhausted. They lack the raw, cellular energy to actually perform the work. This brings us to the second saboteur, hiding deep within the muscle cell. We call it the energy crisis. This crisis begins in your mitochondria. These are the thousands of tiny, bean-shaped power plants packed inside every single muscle cell. Their entire purpose is to take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe and convert them into cellular fuel, a molecule called ATP. ATP is the literal currency of life. It powers everything your body does, from the blink of an eye to the powerful contraction of a muscle. In our youth, your muscle cells are brimming with a vast network of efficient, high-performing mitochondria. The cellular city has abundant power. The lights are always on, But as we age, a dual sabotage occurs. First, the existing mitochondria become less efficient, producing less energy and more toxic byproduct, like smoke from a faulty engine. This cellular smoke is known as oxidative stress, and it damages the muscle cell from the inside out, accelerating its decline. Second, the body's vital cleanup process of clearing out old, damaged mitochondria to make room for new ones, a process called mitophagy, slows down significantly. So you are left with a double jeopardy. Fewer power plants overall, and the ones you have are older and more polluting. The muscle cell begins to experience energy brownouts. It lacks the power to repair itself, let alone grow stronger, leaving it weak and vulnerable to decay. So how do you build new power plants? You must send an undeniable signal of demand to the cellular city. You have to create a brief, controlled, and strategic energy shortage. The most powerful biological signal known to science for building new mitochondria is a specific kind of physical stress: short bursts of intensity. We are not talking about running a marathon. We are talking about strategically and safely asking your muscles for a little more than they are used to, for a very short time. For example, if you are out for a walk, you could simply try walking faster for 30 seconds, to the point where you are slightly breathless. If you're using a stationary bike, increase the resistance for 1 minute before returning to your normal pace. It's about creating a contrast. These short bursts of effort send a powerful panic signal to the muscle cells. Warning: energy demand is exceeding our current supply. Build more power plants now. This process is called mitochondrial biogenesis. Your body literally begins to construct brand new, more efficient mitochondria to meet the new demand. Certain nutrients, like coenzyme Q10 and B vitamins, also play a vital role in supporting the energy production that happens inside these power plants. The immediate benefit you feel is not just strength, but stamina. It's about improving the quality and the endurance of your muscle tissue. You experience it as less fatigue. By upgrading your cellular power grid, your muscles have more energy on demand. They can work longer, recover faster, and better resist the process of decay. You're not just preventing weakness. You are building a deeper, more resilient well of physical energy to draw from every single day. This is how you fight sarcopenia at its energetic root, by reversing the cellular loss of power that defines the condition. But safety must be your first priority. The concept of intensity is completely personal. It means your personal next level, not some arbitrary, competitive standard. Who must be especially cautious? Anyone with a history of heart conditions, uncontrolled blood pressure, severe arthritis, or significant balance issues. It is absolutely non-negotiable to consult your doctor or a qualified physical therapist before beginning any new exercise regimen, especially one involving intensity. They can help you establish a safe starting point. The universal rule is simple: start low and go slow. The goal is progress, not pain. Challenge your body gently and progressively. Listen to its signals above all else. Your body's wisdom is your most important guide. Now the foreman is listening, and the power plants are being rebuilt. But there's one more saboteur at work, a silent fire smoldering in the background. The foreman is alert, and the power plants are running strong. The entire construction site is primed and ready for action. But there's a third, more insidious saboteur at work. It's not a loud failure, but a quiet, constant, draining presence. We call it the slow burn. Scientists have given this a specific name: inflammaging. It refers to the chronic, low-grade systemic inflammation that can become pervasive as we age. This is not the acute, helpful inflammation you experience from an injury, which brings healing cells to the site of trauma. This is a systemic, smoldering fire. Imagine a constant state of low-level emergency that is happening throughout your entire body. This internal fire produces inflammatory molecules called cytokines. Think of them as cellular alarm bells that are stuck in the on position. And they are screaming one word: breakdown. These inflammatory cytokines send constant catabolic or breakdown signals directly to your muscle tissue. It is a biological command to dismantle itself. So even while you are sending powerful build-up signals with leucine, this slow burn is constantly sending the exact opposite message. It's like trying to build a sandcastle while a gentle tide is constantly, relentlessly washing it away. It's an exhausting, uphill battle. This third saboteur not only degrades existing muscle, but also makes it significantly harder for new muscle to form and be maintained. It directly interferes with the foreman's work and drains the precious energy from your newly built mitochondrial power plants. It undermines everything. So how do you extinguish this invisible fire? You fight this fire not with more fire, but with powerful information. The specific information you provide your body through your diet. The most effective way to combat inflammaging is by methodically adopting a sustainable, anti-inflammatory eating pattern. This is not about a restrictive, joyless diet. It's about a strategic and delicious shift towards foods that calm the system and away from those that fuel the fire. Your first line of defense is a group of molecules called omega-3 fatty acids. Think of these as the primary firefighters. You find them in abundance in fatty fish like salmon and sardines, as well as in plant sources like walnuts, chia seeds, and freshly ground flax seeds. Your second line of defense is polyphenols and antioxidants. These are the protective compounds that give vibrant color to fruits and vegetables. The strategy is to eat the rainbow. The deep blues from berries, the rich greens from spinach and kale, and the bright reds from tomatoes and bell peppers are all powerful allies. At the same time, this strategy involves mindfully reducing your intake of foods that promote inflammation, like processed sugars and highly refined carbohydrates. And what is the result of this shift? You fundamentally change your body's entire internal environment. You are turning down the volume on the catabolic breakdown alarm bells. By cooling this inflammatory fire, you finally allow the anabolic or build-up signals from your diet and exercise to be heard clearly. You're no longer fighting against the tide. You are creating a calm, pro-building environment where your muscle tissue is protected and can finally flourish. The benefit isn't just for your muscles. Reducing chronic inflammation has profound, positive effects on your joints, your brain health, and your overall vitality. Now, a practical note on making changes. Adopting a new eating pattern should be a gradual and positive process, not a source of stress. Start with small, simple additions. Who should be particularly mindful? Anyone with chronic conditions like diabetes or those taking specific medications, especially blood thinners like warfarin. Certain foods, such as leafy greens, rich in vitamin K, or supplements with high doses of omega-3s, can potentially interact with these medications. It is always wise to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making significant long-term changes to your way of eating. They can help you create a plan that is safe, effective, and perfectly tailored to your unique health profile and needs. We have now unmasked all three saboteurs. It's time to take our new intelligence and forge it into a powerful, unified plan of action. We have traveled deep into the cellular world, and we have unmasked the enemy. We have met the three saboteurs: the deaf foreman who ignores commands, the failing power plants that create an energy crisis, and the slow, smoldering fire of inflammation. We now know their tactics. This final act is about integration. It's about taking our counterintelligence and forging it into a simple, powerful daily blueprint for muscle preservation. This isn't a rigid, complicated schedule. Think of it as a daily checklist for communicating with your cells in a language they are designed to understand. Signal number 1, the master key. At 1 or 2 meals each day, make it your primary mission to hit that leucine threshold. Look down at your plate and ask the simple question: where is my high-quality protein? Is there enough here to truly get the foreman's attention? This is your build signal. Signal number 2, the energy demand. At least once a day, find a safe and deliberate opportunity for a brief burst of intensity. This could be 30 seconds of faster walking, choosing the stairs over the elevator, or rising from your chair 10 times with purpose. Ask your body for a little more, just for a moment. That sensation of effort is a direct command to your DNA to build new, more powerful energy plants. This is your power signal. Signal number 3, the fire extinguisher. With every single meal, make a conscious choice to add a splash of vibrant, natural color. A handful of deep blue berries in your yogurt, a side of rich, leafy greens with your dinner, a simple switch from a sugary drink to green tea. Look at your plate and ask, what on this plate is actively cooling the inflammatory fire within me? This is your product signal. Build, power, protect. These 3 daily signals, practiced with gentle consistency, form the unbreakable foundation of your muscle preservation blueprint. They do not work in isolation. They work in a beautiful synergy. The anti-inflammatory foods protect the very mitochondria you build with your intensity bursts. The newly energized mitochondria provide the fuel for the powerful muscle growth that your leucine signal commands. Each part reinforces the others. Please remember that gentle consistency will always triumph over rigid perfection. One small, positive choice made daily is infinitely more powerful than a perfect plan executed once a month. You are now the architect of your own cellular health. You have the fundamental knowledge to look past the symptoms and begin addressing the root causes. This is not anti-aging. This is intelligent aging. It is about working in a respectful partnership with your body's incredible biology, giving it precisely what it needs to thrive. Your strength is not a memory. It is a living system within you, waiting for the right commands to reawaken. Your strength is not lost. It's waiting for the right signals. By unmasking the cellular saboteurs, anabolic resistance, failing mitochondria, and inflammaging, you can now fight back effectively. Embrace your new daily blueprint. Fuel your muscles with leucine-rich meals to be heard, use safe bursts of intensity to build power, and eat the rainbow to cool the fires. These are the keys to preserving the physical autonomy and strength that supports the life you want to live. What cellular signal will you focus on first? Comment "Cellular Power On" below to share your journey. The information in this video is for educational purposes only. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet or exercise routine.